Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate, said Carl Jung, encapsulating the essence of shadow work, a practice that explores the hidden, often repressed parts of our psyche. Rooted in psychology, philosophy, and neuroscience, shadow work invites us to confront and integrate the emotions, desires, and traits we tend to ignore or deny. Far from being a journey into darkness, it's a path towards self-acceptance, mental clarity, and emotional resilience. This guide breaks down shadow work in accessible steps, covering its origins, methods, and real-life applications. We'll delve into exercises, like journaling and meditation, that reveal and help integrate these hidden parts, as well as techniques for fostering self-compassion and emotional balance. By learning to recognize and accept all aspects of ourselves, even those that seem uncomfortable, we gain inner peace and create a more authentic life. In the words of Friedrich Nietzsche, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. What is shadow work? Shadow work is a method for exploring and integrating the suppressed parts of our personality that we often ignore or deny, a concept introduced by Carl Jung. Jung described this hidden side of ourselves as the shadow, representing unconscious aspects of our identity that do not align with our conscious self-image. It can include emotions, instincts, desires, or traits that we might judge as negative or feel uncomfortable facing. This practice is vital in modern psychology and personal growth because it encourages self-awareness and authenticity. Our shadow forms over time, particularly in childhood, as social conditioning leads us to suppress behaviors or feelings that seem unacceptable. These suppressed parts of us don't vanish. They remain in the unconscious and can affect our actions and feelings in unanticipated ways. Philosophers and psychologists, such as Sigmund Freud and Friedrich Nietzsche, have also influenced shadow work by exploring the complexities of human consciousness and the hidden drives that shape behavior. Current psychological approaches, like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and internal family systems, IFS, use principles of shadow work to help individuals recognize and manage unacknowledged emotions and beliefs. Engaging in shadow work helps bridge the conscious and unconscious mind, bringing clarity to internal conflicts and fostering self-acceptance. Studies suggest that facing our shadow can improve mental health by reducing stress, enhancing emotional regulation, and promoting overall well-being. In this way, shadow work becomes a transformative tool, offering insight into our deeper selves and helping us lead a more balanced, self-aware life. Why shadow work matters. Shadow work holds profound benefits for personal growth and mental health, as it fosters self-awareness, emotional regulation, and authenticity. By exploring hidden parts of ourselves, we uncover suppressed emotions, beliefs, and traits that might otherwise lead to inner conflict or surface unexpectedly. Psychologist Carl Jung argued that failing to acknowledge these aspects can distort our perception of self and others, leading to a life less aligned with our true nature. From a psychological perspective, recognizing and integrating our shadow can improve emotional resilience. Research indicates that people who engage in self-reflective practices, like shadow work, have better control over stress responses. Studies show that the process balances activity in the amygdala, our brain's emotion center, and the prefrontal cortex, which manages rational thinking, making it easier to handle emotional triggers. Shadow work is also transformative for relationships. By understanding our own motivations and insecurities, we develop empathy for others and reduce the likelihood of projecting unacknowledged feelings onto them. Psychotherapist Fritz Perls' Gestalt theory emphasizes the importance of self-acceptance and taking responsibility for our own feelings, both of which are cultivated in shadow work. Modern therapies like internal family systems, IFS, and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, incorporate elements of shadow work by helping individuals explore repressed thoughts and feelings. Engaging with our shadow offers a clearer view of who we are, allowing us to make choices that reflect our authentic selves rather than acting out from suppressed emotions. By facing these hidden parts, shadow work opens paths to personal freedom, encouraging a more compassionate relationship with ourselves and others and guiding us toward a balanced, purposeful life. If you're enjoying this audiobook and finding value in the content, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. A large portion of our listeners and viewers haven't subscribed yet, and by doing so, you'll help us grow and continue bringing you more high-quality audiobooks. Your support means a lot to us, and it's just one click away. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay connected and never miss out on our latest releases. How the shadow forms. Our shadow forms as a result of social conditioning and life experiences, beginning in early childhood. When caregivers, teachers, or society disapprove of certain emotions or behaviors, we learn to suppress or ignore them to fit in or be accepted. Carl Jung described this process as the separation of the persona, the socially acceptable self we present, from the shadow, which contains the hidden, less accepted traits. As children, we naturally express a wide range of emotions and actions. However, when certain parts of us are labeled bad or unacceptable, we push them into our unconscious. For instance, a child taught that anger is negative may learn to repress it. This unacknowledged anger doesn't disappear. Instead, it forms part of the shadow and can later emerge in situations that trigger an intense or irrational response. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche emphasized the tension between societal expectations and individuality, which contributes to the formation of the shadow. We instinctively suppress traits that don't align with social norms, though they remain part of us, influencing our actions and perspectives in subtle ways. In modern psychology, shadow formation is often explored through therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and Gestalt therapy. These approaches help individuals identify beliefs, memories, or traits that were suppressed and bring them to conscious awareness. Internal family systems, IFS, therapy also examines these hidden parts, helping individuals understand and integrate them in a way that encourages self-acceptance and personal growth. Understanding how the shadow forms provides clarity on why certain traits, fears, or desires lie beneath the surface. It explains why shadow work can feel challenging yet ultimately rewarding, as it encourages us to reclaim the parts of ourselves we've hidden. The role of the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind plays a central role in shadow work. According to Carl Jung, the unconscious mind is a reservoir of thoughts, feelings, memories, and desires we're often unaware of. This is where the shadow resides, a collection of parts we repress or deny because they conflict with our self-image or societal expectations. Jung believed that these unconscious elements exert a strong influence on our conscious life. If left unaddressed, they can manifest in unexpected ways, such as strong emotional reactions, irrational fears, or projections, attributing our hidden qualities to others. For example, someone who denies their own competitiveness may find themselves easily annoyed by others they perceive as overly ambitious. Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory also underscores the power of the unconscious, though Freud focused on repressed desires and conflicts as drivers of behavior. Shadow work, while distinct, overlaps with Freud's emphasis on bringing the unconscious into awareness, though it seeks not only to understand but also to integrate these hidden aspects. The unconscious can be accessed and understood through introspective practices like journaling, meditation, and therapy. Techniques such as internal family systems, IFS, and Gestalt therapy are particularly effective because they encourage a dialogue between conscious and unconscious parts of the self. By bringing unconscious elements into awareness, these methods help us understand why certain emotions or patterns repeatedly surface in our lives. Through shadow work, we make the unconscious conscious, transforming these hidden parts into a source of personal insight rather than an unknown force. By engaging with the unconscious mind, we gain greater self-awareness, control, and harmony, aligning our actions more closely with who we truly are. Benefits backed by psychology and neuroscience. The benefits of shadow work are supported by psychological and neuroscientific findings, highlighting its positive impact on mental health, self-awareness, and emotional resilience. By engaging with our shadow, we address repressed emotions and beliefs, which can lead to significant reductions in stress, anxiety, and self-criticism. Psychological studies suggest that people who practice self-reflection and emotional processing, key components of shadow work, experience greater emotional stability and improved stress responses. Neuroscience explains this by showing how self-awareness can regulate brain activity between the amygdala, our emotional center, and the prefrontal cortex, our logical, decision-making region. When we acknowledge and accept hidden parts of ourselves, we reduce the intensity of emotional reactions triggered by our unconscious mind. In therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and internal family systems, IFS, incorporate aspects of shadow work by helping individuals confront and integrate suppressed thoughts and feelings. Studies have found that these therapies contribute to better emotional regulation and resilience, promoting a more balanced and compassionate self-view. Psychologist Kristin Neff's research on self-compassion also aligns with the goals of shadow work. Her studies indicate that practicing self-compassion, a crucial aspect of shadow integration, fosters mental well-being, self-acceptance, and reduced anxiety. Accepting our flaws and vulnerabilities as part of our complete selves lessens inner conflict and encourages peace of mind. Ultimately, shadow work empowers us to harness our full emotional range rather than be overwhelmed by it. Through this process, we gain insight into ourselves, improve our relationships, and create a foundation for genuine self-expression, leading to a more centered, resilient, and fulfilled life. How to begin shadow work? Starting shadow work requires a gentle, curious approach to self-exploration. The goal is to gradually increase self-awareness by observing thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness practices are a powerful foundation, as they train the mind to notice inner experiences as they arise. Simply paying attention to recurring thoughts, emotional patterns, or behaviors can reveal clues to aspects of the shadow. Journaling is one of the simplest and most accessible tools for shadow work. By writing freely about your day, emotions, or recent triggers, you allow hidden thoughts to surface. Begin by noting down moments of frustration, envy, or strong emotional responses, then ask why these feelings emerged and if they connect to past experiences or unmet needs. Psychological research supports the use of mindfulness and journaling for emotional clarity and stress reduction, making them ideal starting points. Another practice involves shadow dialogues, where you imagine conversing with your hidden aspects as if they were separate entities. This exercise, used in therapies like Gestalt therapy, can make abstract or buried feelings more accessible, facilitating understanding and integration. Meditation is also effective in creating space for shadow work. By sitting quietly with your thoughts, you build tolerance for discomfort and become better equipped to observe suppressed feelings. Even 5 minutes of daily meditation can deepen self-awareness over time. Starting with these practices fosters a compassionate relationship with the shadow, encouraging gradual integration rather than abrupt confrontation. As Carl Jung emphasized, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This balanced approach enables you to gain insights while fostering emotional resilience and acceptance. Journaling exercises for everyday life. Journaling is a practical tool in shadow work, helping bring awareness to unconscious thoughts and feelings. By writing consistently, you create a safe space to explore emotions without judgment, allowing hidden aspects of your personality to emerge naturally. One effective exercise is the trigger journal. Begin by noting situations where you feel unexpectedly frustrated, defensive, or envious. Write down what happened, how you felt, and then ask why it triggered you. This can reveal suppressed beliefs or memories that tie back to the shadow, offering insight into why certain reactions occur. For example, a feeling of envy might highlight a hidden desire for recognition or a suppressed sense of inadequacy. Another helpful technique is the mirror dialogue exercise, inspired by Gestalt therapy. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your eyes, and speak honestly about aspects of yourself you often ignore or dislike. This practice helps reduce self-judgment and fosters self-compassion, essential for integrating the shadow. Research in psychology, like Dr. Kristin Neff's work on self-compassion, suggests that acknowledging vulnerabilities enhances emotional resilience and well-being. Finally, a letter to the shadow can be transformative. In this exercise, write a letter to your shadow, acknowledging its presence and expressing a desire to understand it. Let your thoughts flow, addressing any fears, desires, or resentments you find difficult to openly admit. This method not only provides relief but also facilitates self-acceptance by acknowledging all parts of yourself. Incorporating these journaling exercises regularly encourages a non-judgmental approach to shadow work, allowing for personal growth and deeper self-awareness. Over time, they help bridge the gap between the conscious and unconscious, fostering a more balanced and accepting view of oneself. Practicing self-compassion. Self-compassion is crucial in shadow work, as it enables us to explore and accept hidden parts of ourselves without harsh judgment. Dr. Kristin Neff, a leading researcher on self-compassion, emphasizes that treating oneself with kindness in difficult times strengthens emotional resilience and improves mental well-being. Shadow work can bring challenging emotions to the surface, and self-compassion acts as a buffer, helping us confront these parts of ourselves with gentleness rather than criticism. Practicing self-compassion involves three main elements: self-kindness, mindfulness, and common humanity. Self-kindness means treating ourselves with the same care we would offer a friend, especially when dealing with feelings of shame or guilt tied to our shadow. Mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without over-identifying with them, which is essential for acknowledging our shadow without letting it define us. Common humanity reminds us that imperfection is a shared human experience, reducing isolation and normalizing self-acceptance. Daily affirmations can be a simple way to cultivate self-compassion. Statements like "I am worthy of love and acceptance" or "I am learning to embrace all parts of myself" reinforce a compassionate mindset, creating a supportive inner dialogue during shadow work. Research shows that affirmations can reduce stress and build positive self-perception over time. In therapy settings, self-compassion is often encouraged as clients explore vulnerable aspects of their identity. Internal family systems, IFS, therapy, for example, integrates self-compassion as a means of understanding and healing the shadow. Ultimately, self-compassion transforms shadow work from a challenging practice into a healing journey. It allows us to embrace every aspect of ourselves, building a foundation for deeper, sustainable self-acceptance. Meditation techniques. Meditation is a valuable tool in shadow work, as it fosters a mindful approach to self-exploration and acceptance. Through meditation, we can observe suppressed emotions and thoughts without judgment, creating space for the shadow to reveal itself. Carl Jung emphasized that to understand ourselves fully, we must bring these hidden parts into awareness, and meditation aids in this by helping us connect with the unconscious mind. A powerful technique is mindfulness meditation, which involves sitting quietly, focusing on the breath, and allowing thoughts and feelings to arise naturally. Instead of pushing these thoughts away, you simply observe them. This practice enables you to see recurring themes or emotions, such as anger, fear, or resentment, often tied to the shadow. Neuroscience research shows that mindfulness reduces amygdala activity, linked to emotional reactivity, and strengthens the prefrontal cortex, which aids in emotional regulation. Another technique, loving-kindness meditation, LKM, builds compassion toward oneself and others. In LKM, you silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be safe," cultivating an attitude of kindness. Studies indicate that LKM increases empathy and reduces self-criticism, making it ideal for handling the vulnerability that arises in shadow work. Lastly, body scan meditation can be effective for accessing somatic, body-based emotions linked to the shadow. Slowly scanning your body for tension or discomfort brings awareness to emotions stored in the body, which might not be immediately recognizable. By incorporating these meditation practices, you create a non-judgmental, supportive environment for shadow work. Over time, meditation strengthens self-awareness and resilience, enabling a balanced approach to understanding and integrating your shadow. Engaging with a therapist. Engaging with a therapist can enhance the effectiveness of shadow work, providing guidance, structure, and support in addressing challenging emotions. Therapists trained in shadow work techniques, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, internal family systems, IFS, and Gestalt therapy, can help clients safely explore suppressed aspects of themselves and integrate them constructively. Therapy offers a unique space to confront deeply held beliefs or past experiences that contribute to the shadow. In IFS, for instance, the therapist assists the client in exploring various parts of themselves, including those they may have disowned. By understanding and dialoguing with these parts, clients learn to embrace them, leading to greater self-compassion and emotional resilience. CBT is also beneficial in identifying and reframing negative thought patterns that are often rooted in the unconscious. For example, someone who has suppressed feelings of inadequacy may discover self-critical beliefs driving their actions. A therapist can help them challenge these beliefs, reducing their power and promoting a more positive self-image. For clients working through trauma, therapy provides a safe environment to address difficult memories stored in the shadow. Studies indicate that professional guidance helps individuals confront and process traumatic experiences more effectively, leading to improved mental health outcomes and emotional stability. Therapy ensures that shadow work is approached gradually, with support at each step. Psychologist Carl Jung believed that confronting the shadow alone can be overwhelming, and professional guidance provides a compassionate, structured approach. By working with a therapist, clients gain insights into their hidden parts and learn to integrate them safely, creating a stronger, more unified self. Engaging with a therapist transforms shadow work into a sustainable, healing journey, fostering long-term mental and emotional growth. Integrating shadow work into daily life. Integrating shadow work into daily life promotes ongoing self-awareness and personal growth. Shadow work is not a one-time activity, it's a continual practice that deepens self-understanding over time. By dedicating small moments each day or week to explore thoughts, emotions, and reactions, you gradually bring unconscious elements into conscious awareness. A simple starting point is to regularly review journal entries, which helps identify patterns and triggers related to the shadow. Keeping a shadow journal in which you document daily challenges, intense emotions, or unexpected reactions can reveal recurring themes. Reflecting on these entries encourages growth and helps you understand how shadow aspects influence behavior. Setting aside time for meditation also reinforces shadow integration. Even 5 minutes of mindfulness or body scan meditation provides space for emotions to surface naturally, fostering self-acceptance. Studies on mindfulness demonstrate that regular practice reduces stress and increases emotional resilience, making it easier to handle uncomfortable feelings that arise in shadow work. Another way to integrate shadow work is by practicing self-inquiry throughout the day. When you notice a strong reaction, whether anger, envy, or fear, pause to ask yourself what triggered it and what it may reveal about your deeper needs or beliefs. This self-questioning builds awareness and reduces impulsive, reactive behavior. Engaging in shadow work consistently helps bridge the gap between the conscious and unconscious, leading to a more cohesive self. By making these practices part of your routine, you create a supportive environment for ongoing self-exploration, allowing shadow work to evolve as a lifelong path towards self-discovery, resilience, and authenticity. In this way, integrating shadow work into daily life brings lasting mental and emotional benefits, fostering a balanced and meaningful relationship with oneself. Copyright 2024 by Audiobooks Tube. Thank you for listening. Please consider to subscribe, like, and share to help the channel grow new videos on a daily basis.